Hey there, fourth grade. This is Mr. Campbell. Today we're going to be doing lesson 3.6, but we're going to do things just a little bit different for today. So for right now, you don't need to take your math book out. Instead, what I actually want you to do is grab a whiteboard just like I've got, and then go ahead and grab a dry erase marker. And I'm going to be writing things down. I want you to be practicing it with me on your own whiteboard. So right now, would you please go ahead and pause the video, take out your whiteboard and whiteboard marker so you are ready to follow along. Again, for right now, we don't need our math book or pencil, just a whiteboard and marker. All right, I hope you were able to pause the video and get there. If not, do it right now because I don't want you to be missing out on our lesson. So the last few days, we've talked about partial products, we've talked about area model, different strategies to do multiplication. And today we're going to just do our standard algorithm of multiplication. All right, so our standard algorithm of multiplication. Now, all that means is that we're just going to go ahead and do piece by piece our multiplication problem. So you should have your whiteboard marker just like I've got, and we're going to go ahead and start our first problem. So write it down with me, and we're going to do 23 times 5. All right, 23 times 5. Now, when I start a problem like this, I'm always going to start off in my ones place. And maybe you've done this before. Maybe you remember this from third grade. We're going to go up to our ones place first. So we go up first when we're multiplying. So we start down here and go up. So 5 times 3. Well, what is 5 times 3? So we've got 5, 10, 15, right? Counting by 5s, 15. And in this case, my 5 will stay here. I can't put 15 in my ones place. So my other one regroups over. All right. And now I can do 5 times 2. All right. 5 times 2 and 5, 10. But I've got this 1 up here. And when I put it up there, I usually like to put a plus sign next to it. That reminds me, I'm not multiplying. I actually have to add 1 more because it's actually carrying over from here. All right. So in this, we've got 5 times 2 was 10 plus 1 more is going to be 11. So I put my 1 and then my next place value is a plus 1. Well, we don't have anything there. So 5 times 0 is 0 plus 1 more is going to give me 115. So in this one, we start in our ones place, then we go over to our tens place. If we have more and more place values, we can just go ahead and keep on going. It doesn't have to stop just right there. So this is what we're going to be practicing. So go ahead right now and erase your board, and we'll do our next problem. All right, this next problem that we're going to do together is not going to require any regrouping, but I'm going to ask you to kind of do it with me step by step. I'm going to pause and give you a little bit of time here and there to go ahead and check them out. So my next one, would you write it down with me? I'm going to have 42 times 2. All right, 42 times 2. All right. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and change colors just so you can kind of see where we're working with. But I'm going to go ahead and start off in my ones place. So what is 2 times 2? And again, I'm going to pause because I want you to try to figure that out. 2 times 2. I hope you were able to answer. Yeah, 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to put a 4 in my ones place. Now I'm going to take my 2 and I'm going to multiply my next place value. So 2 times 4. And I'm going to ask you again, well, what is 2 times 4? 2 times 4. I hope you were able to say 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer here is 84. All right, do you see how step by step we're doing each one of those different parts? Okay, I'll go ahead and erase your board. Now we're going to try again, but this time we're going to do regrouping. And I'm going to ask you to answer those questions. I'm going to say it. I'm going to ask you, what is that? I want you to try your best to solve these different parts. All right. So here we go. My next one that I'm going to do is going to be 43 times 5. All right. 43 times 5. And when we have 43 times 5, where do I start off? I start in my ones place. All right. I'm going to start in my ones place. So 5 times 3. All right, what is 5 times 3? Well, 5 times 3 is going to be 15. And when I write 15 down here, you should be saying, no, Mr. Campbell, you can't put 2 digits in the ones place value. And you would be right. So I'm going to erase that 1 right here, and it's going to regroup. So do this with me. When we bring our 1 over, we're actually going to do a plus 1. That way it reminds me I'm not multiplying by 1. I need to add 1 more to my next place value. So now I can do my tens place. So 5 times 4. 5 times 4. Well, 5 times 4 is 20, but I got a plus 1 more, right? So if I do that, I've got 21. And again, you should say, wait a second, Mr. Campbell, you can't have 2 place values in that, or 2 digits in this place value. So I'm going to erase my 2, and it's going to come over. I'm going to do plus 2 in my next place value. All right. And we know you can always add as many zeros to the front of our number, right? And so if I add zeros to this, well, I can say, all right, I've got a 0 here. So 5 times 0 is 0, plus those 2 more. So my final answer here is 215. All right, 215 is how we got that answer. So this is how we can do it. Well, guess what? We can keep adding more and more place values. Go ahead and erase with me. We can add more place values to this type of problem, and it shouldn't really affect or change it. So this next one, we're going to write in a little bit different way, but we're going to go step by step just like we did, all right? So over here, I'm going to write 3 times 174. All right, 3 times 174. Now, the other ones we were doing, this is horizontal. I want to do vertical, stacking them on top of each other. When I do this, I always try to put the number that has more place values up on top. It just helps me to keep track of everything. So I'm going to start with my 174. All right, and then I'm going to times that by 3. Same numbers, and just like before, we can flip these around, right? It's going to give us the same answer if we flip them around. That's okay. All right, so now that I've got this, now I'm going to go step by step to solve my problem. All right, so here we go. So first up, I'm going to go to my ones place. So what's 3 times 4? Well, 3 times 4, I hope you were able to know, that's 12, right? So if I've got 12, I can't put that down here. So I got to erase my 1. And I need to bring it to the next place value as a plus 1. 3 times 7. Well, 7, 14, 21. Plus 1 is 22. Ooh, I can't put two digits there, though, right? So I need to erase it. And I need to do a plus 2. Now I can say 3 times 1. Well, 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 more is 4, 5. So my answer is 522. The pluses at the top remind me, don't keep multiplying. Sometimes we actually just have to add more to it. All right, let's go ahead and try adding even more. Here we go. So go ahead and erase your board with me. I hope this is starting to make sense. I hope you're seeing, oh, I see that we've got to go place value by place value. It's similar, but just a little bit different than some of the multi-digit addition we've done in the past. So I'm feeling okay. I hope that's how you feel. But we're going to go ahead and do another one. This next one's going to be even larger. So here we go. You ready? All right. We're going to do 4 times 2,653. 4 times 2,653. I'm going to ask you to rewrite it, stacking them on top of each other. We have horizontal. We want to turn it into a vertical one over here. Go ahead and try that out right now. I hope you tried it out. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. So 2,653. I start with my larger number because it does help me to keep track of my different place values. All right. So once I've got that done, now I can get started. All right. First up, 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Well, the 2 stays here, and I'm going to plus 1 more. Now I'm going to go 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. So my 1 stays here. My plus 2 goes over to the next place value. Now I want to do 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 more, 25, 26. So my 6 stays here, and my plus 2 is going to go next door. Now I'm going to take my 4 and times it by 2. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, but I got that plus 2 up on top. So 8, 9, 10. My 0 stays here, plus 1 in my next place value, which means that I've got a 1 there. My answer would be 10,612 is how we can go ahead and solve that way. Again, this is called our standard algorithm. It's the way that we just go through place value by place value to multiply together. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and erase this, and I'm going to have you try one on your own completely, and then we'll come back together and see how we would solve it. All right. So here we go. I'm going to do a little bit less of our numbers than we've been doing, but we're going to try it out. So we got 6 times 312. All right. 6 times 312. And I'm going to ask you to pause right now, pause the video, try to solve this whole thing, and then we'll come back together and check it out. I hope that you paused your video and did this one. I'm going to go through it kind of quickly. I want you to check your work, see if this is how you solved yours. So I got my 312 because it's larger, then times it by my 6. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1. All right. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And then my last one is 6 times 3 is 18. My 8 goes here, plus 1 in a new place value, which means it can come down. So my final answer should be 1,872. All right. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and grab your book. You can go ahead and erase this. You can put your whiteboard away, and we are going to get started on page 103 down at the independent practice. All right. So go ahead, grab your book with me right now and open up to page 103. All right, we're on page 103, and we're going to go ahead and cross off number 3 and number 4. Now, this lesson was just teaching another strategy for multiplication, but we're actually going to just go ahead and focus on our standard algorithm for right now. So that's why we crossed those 2 off, and instead we're going to focus down here at the bottom, just doing our standard algorithm. So let's go ahead. I want you to try number 5 and number 6 on your own right now. So pause your video, try those 2 out, rewrite them first, and then go ahead and solve using our standard algorithm. And then we'll go over that together in just a moment. All right, I hope you paused the video and rewrote these 2 problems. We're going to do that right now. Now I've got 4 times 1,995. So I'm going to start with my 1,995. All right, and then I'm going to multiply that by 4. All right. So now I can go ahead and just start working through each of these place values. So 4 times 5 is 20. So my 0 goes here. My plus 2 goes up on top. Now I've got 4 times 9. Well, 4 times 9 is 36, plus 2 more, 37, 38. All right, so my 8 will stay here, and I'm going to put my plus 3 next door. All right, 4 times 9 is still 36, but now I got to add 3 more, 36, 37, 38, 39. So my 9 stays here. My plus 3 goes next door. I'm always adding that plus because I don't want to think that I've got to multiply again. All right, now I've got 4 times 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 more is 7. And so my final answer is 7,980. All right, well, let's jump over to number 6. We got 22 times 5. Well, 22 is the larger number. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 22 on top. And then I'm going to multiply by 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So my 0 stays here. I plus 1 in my next place value. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. Plus 1 in my new place value. It comes down. So I've got 110. All All right, that is how we're going to solve these using our standard algorithm. Now, our next lesson, you'll get to pick any of the different strategies we've used. Maybe you really like area model, maybe you really like partial products, maybe you just like the standard algorithm. You like just being able to do the numbers. Whichever you're most comfortable with, you will be able to do. But for today, I want you to practice the standard algorithm, and we will see you next time. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. We'll see you later.